Right. Hello, my magical beings. How are you? How are you really? So, yes, I changed up my hair, okay? I can't stick to the same hairstyle for too long, okay? But we're gonna go ahead and dive into another general reading. Excuse my daughter's music in the background. I got her right here beside me. So, yeah. Okay. So we're gonna see what messages we can get out for the collective, what messages we need to hear. For some of us, this could come in the form of confirmation, or you know, just a gentle reminder that we're on track. Okay. So, what do we have for my magical beings? I hope all is well with y'all. Hope y'all slept pretty good. Actually, you know what? I didn't even wake up at 3 this morning. I actually stayed asleep the whole time. I normally wake up. I slept good. I slept good last night. So far, we have the Five of Wands in reverse. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse. We also have the Four of Wands, the Two of Pentacles. Ooh. We also have the Page of Wands here. Ooh. Okay, so this is that energy to where we want to keep people happy, but you know, before I go into this reading, I just want y'all to know that we can't make people happy. You know, even if it's like our parents, how they like, okay, go do that, make me proud. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like, sorry y'all, I don't know if it's my real hair or this weave that's in my eye, but we can't make people happy. Okay, these people have to already be happy. We can't make people, like, we can make people proud, but they should already be proud of us, like, regardless of if we follow what they think we should do or if we follow what we want to do. Okay, it really sounds like this reading is for somebody who you have in mind what you want to do with your life, but it's almost just like you're torn between it. Like, do I pursue this or do I continue to, you know, keep the other people around me happy? Okay, and I actually just got done doing a reading like that, but I'm actually going to keep going because it may have a different twist to it. But yeah, this Five of Wands in reverse, this is like trying to avoid conflict, trying to avoid fallouts and drama, you know. And of course, none of us really like, you know, arguing and drama and stuff like that. I myself, I don't, you know. But when we have our own idea of what we want to do with our lives, which that's what I'm saying right here, okay? Because we got this Nine of Wands in reverse, meaning that there's a cycle that you want to close out. There's a path that you want to get off of. You want to take that exit road, but you're just like, I don't know about that. It's like whatever you're doing right now, you're not truly satisfied with that, you know? And it's just like, you know, the only reason why you're really sticking to it really is to keep other people happy. For some of you, you just don't want to avoid being on different pages than somebody else, you know. Especially if they're your friends or people who, you know, are there for you. Four of Wands, this is also somebody who you could be like married to, okay? And I'm very sure that that's pretty complicated if you are married to somebody and they have an idea of how things should be, and in your mind you're just like, I don't agree with you, you know. And I also think another thing that makes it so complicated is because they say that the man is supposed to lead and the woman is supposed to follow, you know. Yeah. So it's kind of like, what if the man is leading the woman down a path that she don't want to be led on, you know? It's like, does she continue to submit to her husband, or, okay, Page of Wands, do her own thing. Although it might cause conflict, although, you know. So that is a pretty tricky situation, okay? Especially if you are married to this person. Now I would say if you're just in a relationship with another person, to me personally, that's not a big deal. I used to place relationships on a very high pedestal, you know, and I used to place them so high on the pedestal that if it was something my partner didn't want me to do or didn't want me to wear or say, you know, I just gave into that. And I sacrificed a lot of parts of myself that were like really important, and I'm actually still in the process of picking back up those pieces. So that's why I'm not really too big, like relationship wise, that's why I'm not too big on always doing things that other person's way, you know, because we tend to lose ourselves like that, you know. Um, I did a reading for Taurus a while back, and their video was labeled, I'd much rather do something else, you know. And I think when we get in these friendships or whenever we, you know, are wanting to make our family proud or in a relationship or marriage, it's like we forget that we are separate people. We forget that we have a right to disagree. We forget that, you know, it's like it's abnormal for us to disagree with people that we love. It's really hard, you know, how they think things should go one way and another person is just like, you know, I actually feel otherwise. You know, and those conversations, they are pretty uncomfortable, but after you have those conversations, you'll feel so much freer afterwards. You know, honestly, I could be talking to somebody who you could be in a process of like outgrowing some of your friends, how y'all normally like go out clubbing and partying. You're just like, look, I want to move on to bigger and better things. I don't want to club all the time no more. I don't want to just be out all late and stuff now. Like, I actually want to settle down. I want kids. I want marriage. I want to be a good girl. I want to be, you know, a husband. Okay? And it's almost as if not so much as wanting to avoid conflict, but it's like when we get so familiar with doing things a certain way, and we also got the Three of Pentacles in reverse right here, okay? So you really feel like the people around you wouldn't support this transformation, that they wouldn't support this new path that you want to take, you know? So it's kind of like that's kind of what's holding you back. So it's like, do I go for this or do I continue to do what I'm doing now, although it's not really aligned with me anymore? So that's kind of like where we have to learn how to kind of shut out how other people think, how other people feel, because at the end of the day, you know, it's very good to be considerate. It's very good to be thoughtful. Like, I stand by that as a Libra, okay? But there comes a fine line between being considerate and thoughtful and allowing other people to run our lives, okay? There is a very thin line. It's somewhere in there, but you have to seriously look like really hard, okay? But, you know, our life path, you know, what we decide to do with our life, those are very sacred, private, and important parts of ourselves that we should truly be in control of. Okay, it really sounds like I'm talking to somebody who you have, like, it sounds like you've outgrown something, okay, or either you've grown like uninterested in something, okay, and it's like you want to break free, you want to be your own person, you want to, you know, stand out from the crowd, live your truth, okay. I could be talking to somebody who, okay, maybe your truth, okay, these are two women, so maybe your truth is that you want to, you know, be open and expressive about your sexuality, okay? Which, you know, everybody who knows old me knows I dealt with females, so, you know, and my mom, she didn't like it, but I had a conversation with my mom when I was younger, you know, and even at that age, I realized that not so much I don't care. Like, I don't like to say I don't care, but when it comes to situations like that, I don't. Because, you know, how does that fit in? You know, how does that make sense? you know, to live a life that you're not happy with, or to live a life that you would much rather be doing something else. Doesn't mean that something's wrong with what's now. Like maybe you just want something else, you know. So it's just like, you know, if that's your truth, you know, who are we to deny ourselves of who we are? You know, and for some of you, this could simply be your life calling, okay? Because Page of Wands, this is all about fresh new journeys, embarking on new life paths and things of that nature, okay? So for some of you, you could be like going to a new school or learning something new or taking up new classes, things of that nature, you know. But I don't know, for some of you, you may have a fear of losing people, okay? That's a big one, you know, and I myself, I used to struggle with that, but now I don't care. Like, if you have to fall off the bandwagon as I go up, I don't care, you know. But, yeah, because with this Four of Wands, once again, it's two girls right here. She has company, but to embark on this new path, this is going to require her to be solo dolo, you know. And I think that's why, you know how some people end up spiritual and some people don't. Some people end up successful and some people don't. I honestly feel like a lot of it stems from a lot of people not wanting to give up the friends that they already have, or give up the social life that they already have. You know, so it's like they try to hang on to the friends, but for you to hang on to the friends, you have to hold on to that lifestyle. And for you to hold on to that lifestyle, you have to, you know, basically hold yourself back from the lifestyle that you're meant to live, or a healthier lifestyle, you know. It's kind of like, prime example, if every time you link up with these people, whether it's friends, family, let's say you're partying in a club, for instance, okay, which nothing's wrong with it. But we all get to the point of time where it's just like, all right, we're adults now. Let's kind of slow down on this a little bit, okay? So it just, once again, it just really sounds like you're outgrowing some people. The things that you used to find interesting, you just don't anymore, you know? And it's almost as if you're thinking to yourself, like, how am I supposed to end these friendships? Or, like, do I take them with me, you know? And I would just say, like, don't worry about that part. Just, once again, with the serenity prayer, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, okay? So in this situation, no, you can't change or control if people will stick with you or not, okay? That part we cannot control. But what you can control is whether you allow that to stop you or not, you know. Because, yeah, you know, when I was first making my transition into spirituality, I kind of was afraid of going full force because I didn't want to lose, well, I'm not going to say I had friends, but I had a lot of company, okay. But I wanted to keep my social life, but it came a point in time to where my desire to be alone and to learn and to grow and transform, it started to overpower my desire to be around a bunch of people, you know. And especially whenever I had got homeschooled, okay, so ooh, I could be talking to somebody who you may have been isolated from everybody, whether if you went to jail, if you moved away, or if you went to like a different school. You may have had time away from these people, and now that you're back around these people, you're realizing, like, I don't think I want to continue to hang around these people, or I just don't fit in with these people anymore. Honestly, that's how you could feel when our frequency goes up. Anybody who is attached to us when we're down here, you know, it's either we kick them off or they let go, you know. Alright, sorry y'all, I have to charge my phone. But yeah, I could be talking to somebody who you may have grown up with these people, or you may have spent a lot of time with these people. And it's like you're worried about if these people will still be here or not after you make this transformation or after you take this jump. you know. But I would just say like not to worry about that part. An affirmation that will really help you is whoever and whatever is meant to be in my life when I make this transition, they'll be there. And whoever and whatever is not, you know, they just want, you know. And it's almost as if we have to be okay with who and what is not able to come with us, you know, because that is honestly to me like the saddest part about spirituality, because as you are evolving and growing and changing and learning, you know, your friendships and even your family relationships, or either like your marriage, you know, the dynamic starts to change. And some people can't handle that drastic change, you know. So it's almost as if to be on your spiritual path or to be on the path of success, you have to be okay with the idea of losing people. Okay, and I'm not talking about death. I'm just talking about like people, you know, if they're used to you partying and clubbing all the time, and you come back wanting to talk about healing people and their heart chakras and stuff, okay, they're not going to understand where you're coming from. They're not going to be interested in that, because all they know you to be is a clubber or a partier. Okay, so you killed off that part of you, but it's like you're still trying to hold on to it so that you can hold on to the connections with these people. But look what it's holding you back from. Okay, so it really sounds like I'm talking to somebody who you're actually holding yourself back from your own spiritual evolvement. Okay, because spiritual involvement, it does require you to be alone. Okay, and I'm not even going to say like fully alone, but it does require you to get away from people who are not evolving. And if you don't get away from them, the universe actually orchestrates events in your life for them to get away from you. Okay, that could come in the form of like me getting homeschooled, or somebody going to jail, or somebody moving away. You know, if these people are not aligned with us, and if we cannot remove ourselves from the equation to focus on us, that's whenever the universe steps into the picture. Okay, that's when big dogs step in and like, okay, she need help with this process. She won't let go of these friends. They're holding her back from her highest potential. She won't get rid of them, and they still sticking around. So, you know, that's when the universe, you know, orchestrate things in our lives to take people away so that we can focus on ourselves, you know. So how you're in this energy of confusion, like, do I hang on to these people, or do I move forward? Do I work on myself, or do I continue to hold on these bad habits? Do I keep smoking and partying, or do I stop, you know, and focus on my health? It's like you're torn between basically like the good side of you and the evil side of you, you know. You would seriously have to make a decision here. And I can honestly say, from my own personal experience, if you do not make a decision, the universe will make it for you. Okay? If you don't know how to cut these people off, if you don't know what to say, if you don't have the courage to get away from these people that ain't no good for you, if you don't do it, that's when big dog gotta step in. And big dog don't care who get hurt in the process. Okay, big dog, his job is to just make sure you get to your destination. Okay, the last video I did like this, it was a reading for Krabby Crew, and their video was called Spirit Has Spoken. So if y'all need to go check out that video, y'all most definitely should. Okay, but the example that I used was, imagine if it was a house fire and you had a teenage child, and you were telling the teenage child, like, come on, this house is on fire. And they just like, you know, I don't want to leave, or I don't know what's going on, you know. Because you want that child safe and somewhere, you know, secure, you're going to snatch that child out that house. You're not going to care if they get, you know, a splinter, if they hit their head on a wall. You're not going to care about what happens during that process. Your only goal is to get that child from point A to point B. Okay? So, same thing right here. If you're around people who are holding you back from your potential, really it looks like, honestly, if you want me to keep it real with you, it looks like you are holding yourself back from your own potential because you don't want to cut these people off. Okay? But that's okay. We've all been there, done that, okay? But if you don't have the courage to do it, if you don't have the strength to do it, I would say pray for it so that you can do it yourself instead of the universe having to do it for you. Okay, sorry y'all, I had to give my daughter some pickles and olives. She loves pickles and olives, okay? But yeah, really looks like you're holding yourself back here because you don't want to lose these people. And I understand totally where you're coming from because you cherish your relationships. You know, we all do, you know. So, I would just say if you don't have the courage and strength to cut these people off or to follow your calling or this new path forward, I would say, you know, to like really pray for that strength and courage, okay? Because once again, if you don't do it, you'll be forced into it, okay? And that's not something that you really want to go through, okay? I'm sure you would much rather gently walk into your life path or your life calling, okay? I'm sure you would want to do this voluntarily instead of being forced, okay? So I would just say if you know something in your life is no longer serving you, if you know that you have outgrown some people, if you know, and I would honestly say like with the partying and stuff, like nothing's wrong with that as long as you're doing it like in moderation, okay? Let's say for instance if you're trying to stop smoking, okay, if that's your goal, stop smoking, but you hang around these people and they just like, oh, you gotta stop smoking, you know, we still living, our lungs are still functioning, we okay. You know, if you hang around people like this who deter you from your path of being your new self, you know, it will be up to you to one, either, you know, deny that temptation while you're around them, okay? Or to just get away from them completely, okay? And, yeah, once again, if you're not able to do it, the universe will have to help you with this process, okay? And, from my own personal experience, I can say that when the universe gets involved, it's not really a good thing. The universe likes to give us free will and make good decisions on our own. But if we are unable to, or if we refuse to, okay, big difference. If we're unable to, the consequences tend not to be as bad as it is if we just didn't want to, okay? So there's a big difference. You know, if the universe sees, okay, you know, you're, you know, kind of struggling with this, okay, you know, it just gives you an assistance. But if you're refusing to, okay, very big difference, okay? If you're refusing to, okay, that actually comes with a spiritual consequence, okay? So, you know, once again, it's either you follow your life path, your new journey, your, you know, path forward, or, you know, try to hang on to the old you. Try to hold on to the way you've been doing things. Try to hold on, you know. But it's going to constantly cause a fight within you, you know. It's like a spiritual war zone inside of you that will be going on. Because you're going to constantly think to yourself, like, do I continue to stay here? This ain't really fulfilling. Or do I move forward? Do I stay here? Move forward. Like, you're going to constantly be in this state of confusion. And that's not a good place to be in. You know, that's not a good place to be in. You know, it's okay to be confused from time to time, but every day in this energy of confusion, like, I don't know if I stay here, leave, stay here, leave, like that will cause anybody anxiety, depression, you know. But it looks like it will really be up to you on if you decide to move forward or not. You know that these friendships no longer serve you. You know that these people are not aligned with you anymore. So if you need help, That's what the universe is there for. Okay? Because it's kind of like the universe is like, all right, we got to get the show on a run. You play your part so that the play can go on. But if it's one character who's not doing their part, you know, it messes up the flow of everything else. You know. So if spirit is nudging you to go this way, and you start going this way, but then you look that way and you try to go back over here, and then you look back over there and you like that, it'll constantly have you at war with yourself. And that's like the last person that you ever want to be at war with. Okay, it's okay to have beef with people in the streets. Okay, that's one thing. But if you have beef with yourself, if you're confused with yourself, if you are holding yourself back, that's kind of like it just put me in the energy of self-sabotage. To where you know the way forward, you know that you deserve better, you know you want better, but it's like you think to yourself like, oh, no, how these people gonna feel? No, I don't want to be alone. No, it's like self-sabotage, because this is what you're holding yourself back from. Okay, freedom, self-expression, new life path forward, whole new beginning, new chapter. Okay. This is what you're holding yourself back from. This is what you're confused about. You're confused about something really good in your life. Something really good. Okay? For some of you, this actually could be a new relationship. Okay? I could be talking to somebody who maybe you're torn between either continue to play the field or, step into this relationship. Okay? Which, in that situation, you would just, I guess you would really have to sit and think to yourself on that, as to like why you're confused, as to if you want to continue to play the field or get into a commitment. Because we all have our own personal reasons for that, okay? So if you do feel like you still need time to do you, I don't think anything's wrong with that. But the thing is, people are not objects, so you can't really put a person on layaway. Okay, so if you don't take this offer now, okay, there's no guarantee that it will be there when you decide that you are done doing your thing out there. Okay, so yeah. Now to my people in a relationship, I could be talking to some people who you actually want to be single, and you want to either you want to be single and mingle, or you're wanting more excitement in your relationship or marriage. Okay, if you're wanting to be single and things of that nature, I think your partner seriously needs to know that. Okay, yes, it's going to be a very uncomfortable conversation. I see that's probably why you haven't said anything. Okay, but me personally, if I was with somebody, I would want them to tell me if they want to be single, instead of cheating on me, or instead of treating me some type of way and being all bitter towards me because they're in a relationship with me that they don't want to be in. Okay, so communication and honesty, it goes a long way. I feel like your person needs to know what's going on with you and how you feel. Okay, I would much rather you tell your partner like, hey, I think I want to be single and free. I'd rather you tell them that and hurt their feelings that way than to want to be single and free and go do that while you're still with them, okay? Because Two of Pentacles, this could actually speak of juggling people, and nobody really wants to be in that position, okay? So if you want to be free, just do yourself a favor and let it be known. You set yourself free, and you also set this other person free. You don't have to hurt them in the process, okay? Now, to my people who you're still wanting this relationship or marriage, but you just want more fun involved, I would say talk about that too. If you feel like y'all aren't really, having as much fun as y'all used to and things of that nature, I would say talk about that too. Whoever you're with, you should feel like you could be an open book with them. If you don't feel like you can communicate with them, something's wrong already. Okay? So I could be talking to somebody who maybe you feel like you can't really communicate with your partner, or maybe they're too like strict or rigid to where you can't really express yourself. So it's like now that's probably why you want to be free and away from this person. Okay? You may feel like your needs are not being met. Okay? Or especially your emotional needs. Okay? Which women in relationships and marriages, it really only tends to be a woman issue. Where in a relationship or marriage we feel like we're not getting enough attention, affection, time, emotional support, things of that nature. So, you know, and I actually did do research, and that is one thing, like that's like the number one reason why a woman would cheat or leave, if she's not being emotionally fulfilled. Okay? So, and these are all women. Okay? So, if I am talking to a woman who in your relationship or your marriage, you feel like you're not really getting that emotional support there or emotional fulfillment, if you're not really happy there, I would just say let your partner know that, okay? Because once again, I'd much rather you tell your partner like, look, I ain't happy. This ain't working. You work all the time. You don't talk to me. That made me feel like you don't really like me. Like, you should really tell your partner that. And how they decide to handle that afterwards will let you know if you should stay or venture out. But one thing I will say, if you venture out, okay, this Four of Wands, you know, a lot of people say this is the card about like marriage and celebrations. But when I look at this card, okay, this does not give off the vibes of marriage and celebration. There'll be plenty of celebrations, alright. But as far as marriage coming in afterwards, after you finish celebrating, no. Four of Wands does not give me marriage energy. Okay? So once again, to whoever, if you're like, okay, I'm not really emotionally satisfied in my relationship and marriage, so I want to go out there. Okay, if you go out there, there's no guarantee that it will be something serious. Okay, so it's like, what's more important to you? A commitment, okay, something stable, something secure, or something fun and passionate and exciting, okay? Because once you go out there thinking that the grass is greener, and after the party is over, the lights go off, you know, where are you going to go afterwards? For some of you, it's like literally, where are you going to go afterwards? Because I do have a tent right here, okay? For some of you, you could be living with somebody, you know, and if you do decide to go out here and cheat and they find out, you ain't going to have nowhere to stay. Okay? So I will say make sure you got your tent if you decide you want to pull that type of behavior and you living with somebody, okay? Alright, I'm back, y'all. I had to give her some orange juice. But it just really looks like you avoiding conflict with somebody else or other people is causing a disturbance within yourself. You know, and I know exactly where you're coming from with this, you know. Because we want to do what's right, and we also want to, you know, kind of include the other people around us in the process, you know, so that we feel like, so that we don't really leave anybody else out. So I get it, okay? But if this change is meant to be, it's inevitable. It will happen, whether you want it to or not, whether you feel comfortable with it happen or not, okay? If you're in a relationship that is crumbling down and you're trying to hang on and you're confused about whether you should hang on or not, you know, if it's meant to crumble, it'll crumble, you know. Alright, so we're going to keep going on, okay? I'm going to see what else we have. Yeah, I done kind of got sleepy. But yeah, if this change, if this new path forward is supposed to happen, it's going to happen with or without permission, okay? For some of you, it's almost as if like you're doubting this new path forward. I could be talking to somebody who maybe you're in like some type of membership or some type of company or on a job to where it's like you are not really happy there and you want to do your own thing, but you don't know if it will be successful or not. Okay? In that situation, I would say, like, seriously, have faith in yourself. You'd be surprised what you can pull off on your own. If I thought that I couldn't do nothing by myself, I would have absolutely nothing done. I wouldn't have a car. I wouldn't have anywhere to live. Okay? But there is power in being alone, okay? I ain't saying be single for the rest of your life and be Miss Independent or Mr. Independent for the rest of your life, but I'm saying there is power in believing in yourself, okay? There is power in self-sufficiency, okay? It really is, okay? So, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, okay? So, yeah, you're denying yourself of this new beginning. You're denying yourself of this change. Okay. Now it depends on, of course, your situation. Okay. Once again, if you're in a relationship or marriage, if it's already stable, but you feel like you're not having that much fun in it. Okay. I see why you're denying yourself of that. Okay. But if this is as far as like a life path, okay, if you're worried about what other people think, that's what I'm really talking to, okay? It looks like you're denying yourself for this fresh new beginning, you know? And I don't know if it's that you're procrastinating or second guessing or having some fears, okay? For some of you, it's almost as if you don't want to move forward because it would require you to cut off somebody, okay? Because we do have that Four of Wands, and it was 2 women, and it's like she's having to downgrade to just being herself, which I wouldn't even say it's a downgrade. It's like a decrease, but once you realize how potent your own company is, that's when you realize that it's not about quantity, but quality, okay? I just got done posting something on Instagram about that, but, you know, quantity is the number of people around you. But quality is the condition of the life that they're in, or the condition that they can better you, you know, the quality of people. Do these people, like, can they teach you something? Can you learn something from them? Are they evolving? Are they growing? Are they healing? Like, the quality of these people, you know, because sometimes, you know, which I used to be guilty of, you know, but sometimes we could care less about who is around us, who we're friends with, what family members we talk to, or who we date, as long as we have somebody. We don't look at the quality, we just look at the quantity. And what I mean by that quantity is we just don't want to be alone. We'd rather it just be somebody, anybody. Don't care if they alcoholic, don't care if they drug, don't care. You know? So it's almost as if for some of you, you are being called to take a journey alone. Okay? And it will feel funny at first. Okay? I took my journey alone when I was 13, 14. You know? And at first, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, at first it is like really depressing. Especially if you're used to being around people. And if you're used to having a lot of people around you. It is very depressing at first, okay? But after a while, okay, that's when you start to realize, like, I get more done when I'm alone. I don't have to worry about gossip. I don't have to worry about drama. I don't have to worry about anybody being in my business. I don't have to worry about anybody betraying me. Like, all it is me versus me. If anything goes wrong, it's because of me. If I get in trouble, it's because of me. You know, and it makes you feel comfortable after a while because you realize, like, I wouldn't do me how anybody else would do me, like how they would go out their way to like hurt me, like I wouldn't do me like that. So it's like you start to become your own best friend. You take pleasure in being in your own company. That's what spirituality is about, being comfortable with yourself, growing confident and comfortable with who you are, enjoying your own company. You know, riding alone. You don't have to be in a pack. Okay? And I could be talking to somebody who maybe you are used to being in a pack. But now your interests are starting to collide with the people that you're around. So it's like, are you going to continue to ride along with what you disagree with, all for the sake of having people around you, or all to say that you have friends? Okay? Or are you just going to say, like, screw that? Like, I love y'all, but look, I got goals. I got other things I want to do. I'm not interested in what y'all doing anymore. I'm me. And break free and be yourself. You know? So just, I mean, you might be on that path alone, but know that you're not alone. And what I mean by that is there's other people on this planet who are on this spiritual journey right now, including myself, who are alone. You know, I have my children, but as far as like friends, like, no, I don't do all of that. You know? So it's almost as if for some of you, you are being called to go on a spiritual solo journey. Now, does this mean for the rest of your life you have to be single and alone, no friends? No, unless you decide to be that and do that. Okay, because once you grow so comfortable with your own energy, trust me, you actually going to end up wanting to be single for the rest of your life and not have friends anymore. You know? But just know it's okay to say there's what's that saying? Sometimes we gotta find the good and goodbye. Okay? So yeah, it looks like there will be some endings in your life and certain relationships, things of that nature, you know, which are beyond our control. Okay, you can try to hang on to these friendships, baby, but if they're not aligned with you anymore, they're gonna fall by the wayside. Okay? And even my right ear is clicking, okay? So I would just say to prepare yourself for that, okay? If you don't let go, they would end up walking away, okay? And if both parties want to hold on to something that is no good, that's when the universe takes over, okay? And when big dog get involved, it's not pretty, okay? But just know that you are enough on your own. You are whole by yourself. You don't need a clique. You don't need a pack. You don't need what you think you need. Okay? On your spiritual journey, all you need is your truth and freedom. Truth and freedom. You know, and some space. You know, that's it. And once you get done spending this time to yourself and you come back out into the open and you get back around these people, you realize, like, why did I even hang out around y'all? Like, what did I see? You know? Right now you don't see it. But once you do go down this path alone, you spend that time alone and your third eye chakra starts to open, trust me, you're going to see a lot of things that you didn't see at first. Okay? But you know, when we're operating at a frequency, you know, down here, we don't see things as we would if we were up here, okay? And once you go down this path, trust me, you're going to see some things that you didn't see at first, okay? But, you know, I would just say, like, don't deny yourself your transformation. Don't deny yourself your own spiritual evolvement for other people, or just to say that you have somebody or have people around. You know, we were born alone. And if I'm not mistaken, when we transform into our next lifestyle, I think that's a solo process. You know? So why not grow comfortable with being by ourselves anyway? So that we can kind of, you know, prepare. You know? I'm going to check out a likely outcome. Okay. Alright, likely outcome. Also, I could be talking to somebody who, a lot of people, they really don't realize that whenever I had that, I didn't realize that I had it, but abandonment issues, and it's okay to talk about, okay? On this channel, we talk about stuff like that, okay? We talk about childhood traumas, we talk about it, okay? But abandonment issues is where you fear with all your life being alone. You rather stay in a toxic relationship, a toxic marriage, or be around friends who don't even really like you just to say you have somebody or have people around. That's what abandonment issues are. You fear people leaving, you fear rejection, you fear being alone. I am coming out of that. And I am alone, and I actually prefer to be alone now. So Once again, the only thing that really helped me to come out of that, of feeling like I need people around me, you know, the only thing that pulled me out of that was being forced to be out on my own, you know. Because once again, when I was 13, 14, I was, um, I was forced into homeschool. Well, I ain't gonna say forced, but, you know, I got homeschooled, so I was away from people. So, you know, moving forward, I lost all of my associates. Everybody that I hung around with, I lost every single last one of them. I don't talk to any of them today, you know. And there was um, two relationships that ended up not being any good for me. And eventually you know, I was forced into being alone. Although I was the one who walked away, I felt like I was forced to be alone. Because after we go through so much with people, it starts to click like maybe I should let go. Maybe I should walk away. You know, and it sounds like I'm talking to somebody who eventually you're going to get to that point, because the universe is going to purposely orchestrate it to get so bad to where you have to walk away. If you don't walk away, these people who are no good for you, they're going to be the ones to walk away from you. Okay? But, yeah, I've overcome my abandonment issues. I don't care now. If anybody decides they want to leave, I'm like, all right, go. You know, my bills, they still going to be, you know, my bills, they still going to be paid. My daughters, they still going to be here. I'm going to still be a mom. My YouTube channel is still going to continue. Like, nothing is affected by me anymore. I might miss that person, but everything in my life will not be affected. You know, unless I allow those negative thoughts to tear me down up here. Okay? It took a little minute for me to master this, and honestly, I'm still kind of working on it. Okay? But just know that this process, it might be a little difficult, okay? Especially if you're used to having somebody, if you're used to being around people, it will be a little complicated. But after a while, you're going to appreciate the fact that you took a chance on yourself. You're going to appreciate the fact that you walked away from things and people that no longer serve your highest good. Right now, you don't see the good in goodbye, because your eye chakra, your third eye chakra, is not fully open just yet. But when it does start to open, and it only will open as you are alone. That's why a lot of people don't spiritually evolve, because they want to be around people so much. So only people who are okay with being alone can be shown by spirit things about themselves that nobody else knows. Spirit can only show us things when we're away from people. If you're constantly in a crowd, if you're constantly in a friendship, if you're constantly in a relationship or marriage, Spirit doesn't have you to itself to teach you anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be alone on this journey. Okay? Now, to my people in a relationship or marriage, you know if your partner is good for you or not. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say on that. Okay? But, yeah, I'm going to check out a likely outcome, okay? I just know it's okay. I understand exactly where you're coming from. You know? I understand exactly where you're coming from. I done got to the point to where I feel safer whenever I'm alone. It's when I'm around people when I feel like something's going to pop off. But me personally, I'm a very calm spirit. I don't get into any trouble. I don't be out here trying to fight anybody or do anything. So I feel safe by myself. You know? Around other people, you don't know what they finna do next. You don't know. People are very unpredictable. But I know me, you know? So that's why I have overcome my abandonment issues. I used to absolutely fear being by myself. I used to always feel like I had to be with somebody, you know. I didn't care too much about friends, but I always felt like I needed to be with somebody, like in a relationship, you know. But now I found that I'm more peaceful by myself than I am in a relationship. When I'm in a relationship, it's like I'm triggered, you know. I end up not talking to the person no more, just, you know. So that's something I'm working on, you know. Although it would be nice to have a partner, I've found the beauty and the joy and the comfort and security in being by myself. And that's very important, you know, because if we're not happy with ourselves, we subconsciously look for other people to make us happy. We don't try to, but it just happens, you know. When we're okay by ourselves, when our cup overflows, you know, if we don't like what's being served, if we're already full within, and we go to a table with somebody and we don't like what's being served, we can get up and walk away without being hungry. Okay? That's why it's important to feed ourselves and to be okay with walking away, okay with being done with people. You know? I cut somebody off in a heartbeat. I didn't used to be like this. I used to hang on. I used to be around people who were no good for me. You know? But we get to the point to where in our spiritual journey we all get to that point to where we're okay with being alone. It doesn't mean to be like that for the rest of our lives, no. But at least until we learn to value ourselves, at least until we see our worth, you know. Alright, so I'm going to check out a likely outcome. These cards are kind of taking a minute. But I just want you to know you are whole on your own, okay? You don't have to run in a pack. You are enough by yourself. You don't need your friends' validation. You don't need company. You are fine, like bon appetit by yourself, okay? And if you don't know that, if you don't feel like that, that's probably the purpose of this transformation that will have to happen. So that you can see that you're the bombdiggity.com by yourself, okay? So, yep, you have a choice here. Yep, you have a choice to a whole new beginning here. But it'll be up to you if you decide to take it or not. You know, no, it's not going to be as appealing. Like, oh, I got to go on this path by myself versus go on that path with my friends and my family. You know, of course you're going to look at that path, you know, that's being offered to you on your side. Of course you're going to look at it a little weird, you know. Because it requires you to be by yourself. At first, it don't sound fun, but after a while, I'm telling you, once you get on this spiritual path, you learn yourself, you start to feel your own energy, you would happily take the path by yourself. If only you knew how interesting you are. If only you knew how good of a company you are, you know. If only you knew how cool you were, you would happily take this path alone by yourself. But right now, it doesn't seem too exciting because you don't know how interesting you are. You don't know how cool of a person you are. If you knew, you would happily stay home and enjoy your own company versus going out and partying with people who barely even like you. You know? But this sounds like a reading that's all about discovering our self-worth, discovering our self-value, and honestly getting used to our own company. Okay? Because it doesn't mean you have to be tucked away from the world permanently for the rest of your life, but at least temporarily until you can find out how cool you really are, until you tap into your own power and your own magic, you know. Because when we love ourselves, we attract other people who love us. When we start to like ourselves, we attract other people who like us. But if we're constantly wanting to be around other people because we feel like we're boring and not interesting, we're going to attract other people who think the same thing and who make us feel that way. If you don't feel like you're good enough on your own, you're going to keep attracting other people who feed into that negative thought that you're not good enough. But it's when we sit to ourselves and we think to ourselves, like, I'm a pretty cool chick. Like, I just stay in the house. I don't be in no drama. You know, I'm real laid back. You know. When we start to look at ourselves like, I'm a really cool person. That's when other people can see it. And that's when we start to attract other people who appreciate us. You know. But it all starts with us. We got to fall in love with us first before anybody else can. You know. It starts with us. Because right now, this is the energy that you're in. Okay? Not happy alone, bored, like, oh, I wonder what they doing over there. You know? If you on the outside looking in, would you want to hang around somebody that's giving off these type of vibes? Like, oh, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could do this. You know? I'm bored by myself. I'm not happy right here. I want to do something else. You know, would you want to be around somebody like that? Okay? But it's not until she spends time alone and actually, you know, take time to realize her good qualities and fall in love with herself, you know? Where she realized, like, I actually enjoy being by myself. I like my own company. I like my own vibe, you know? Once she starts to be in this energy, everybody gonna want to chill with her. Like, look at her. She over there having fun. She dancing. I want to be a part of her life, you know? That's when we manifest the good things, the good people, you know? So, once again, this is all about self-worth, discovering it and discovering our self-value. You are so much more cooler and interesting and funnier than you could ever imagine. Your company by itself is thebombdiggity.com, and you have to know that. You have to value that. Because if you truly valued it, you wouldn't just give it to anybody. Anybody in my life can ask, I'm very bougie and stingy with my time and my energy. Very bougie, okay? Very bougie, okay? And it's all because I've sat to myself and I realized how precious my time is. It's like truly very precious, you know? And I wouldn't have realized that until I took this path alone, you know? So just know, starting out this path, yeah, it'll be a little depressing. Yeah, you're going to feel alone, okay? But after a while, when you start getting bored, you're going to start doing new things. You're going to be finding out new things about yourself, you know. You're going to tap into your spiritual gifts or your talents. You'll find out so much more about yourself that you'll realize, like, I am so much more interesting than I thought. Like, I'm so cool. And once you realize that, you start to radiate self-love and all that good jazz, you going to have all the hoes. Like, everybody going to want to be your friend. Everybody going to want to be in your face. Everybody going to want to, you going to be having people call your line, like, what you doing tomorrow? Where you want me to come? Okay? And it'll be good vibes, you know? Good vibes. And you'll be so confident that if you don't like what's being served, if you don't like the people, you like, look, I don't mean no harm, but bye. If they can't see your worth, if they can't appreciate your glow, you'll quickly and confidently say bye. You will start to see the good in goodbye. Okay? Because your energy is going to be so positive and so pure that any outside negative energy, drama, all of that, you're just not going to be with it anymore. You're not going to settle for as much as you once did. People are going to have to come correct. Okay? You want people to respect you. You want people to value your time and your energy, you know. But for them to do that, you have to do it first. Okay? So, yeah, that's all that I have for you guys. I pray that this reading was very eye-opening. I pray that it was inspirational, motivational, and was a very big help to you and you guys on your spiritual journey. And yeah, just know you're the bombdiggity.com by yourself. You are whole enough by yourself. You don't need a pack. You don't need a relationship to define you. You don't need that marriage to define you. You are legit by yourself. Okay? And sometimes things happen to where we go through life alone temporarily until we can find out, you know, just how cool we really are as people. Okay? For anybody else to fall in love with us, we have to fall in love with us first. You know? It's hard being around somebody who don't love themselves. Constantly talking negative about themselves, just putting a bunch of negative energy into the conversation. Like, that's no fun to be around, you know? But when we sit to ourselves, we start to appreciate ourselves, love ourselves, enjoy ourselves. We focus on the good qualities about ourselves, like I can dance, I can do this. You know, we start to feel good about ourselves. We start to radiate off confidence, you know, and it draws in good people, healthy people. You know, people who can match that energy. And if they can't, your confidence will be so up to where you just like, look, you gotta go. You know? Alright, I'll let you guys go. I pray that y'all took something very valuable from here. I pray that this was a big inspiration and a big motivation to you. And yeah, I'll let you guys go. Until next time, mwah.